glasses?
No, no, no. Hi. So what's going? What am I? Well, you'll tell me. No, you don't tell me. Just get me into it. What is it? You guys are.
The Music for Democracy, new group that we just started this year.
I heard a little bit. I read like a tiny blurb from.
We used to work with Head Count for several years. We wanted to do something very political and allowed to be partisan and like that.
All right.
And that's basically why we did it this way. So to allow
Got you.
artists.
That's good. No, it needs we need it all, man.
Exactly.
Cool.
Awesome. Cool.
All right.
Let's go ahead and get started. I guess I can ask you a question.
Okay. Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, we'll pass the mic.
Awesome.
To get the best sound.
Let's see. So I guess what I'll ask you is, growing up and, MMW forming in Brooklyn, 1990s, Cold War coming to an end, Gulf War getting started. How did living through this and, kind of the band originating this affect your outlook towards, the music you're doing and the situation we're facing now with our current day?
Well, for me, it's music. I mean, all life affects, me. What's going on in the world, it has an effect. And the music, for me, is always, because, playing instrumental music, and for me, it's not so much about being political with the music. Like, I don't know, there's people who do that, and it's great. Their lyrics have a political content, and they, say something, against this, for this. For me, the music is about healing, trying to heal and inspire people and create a vibration that makes everyone just do the right thing and be happier and be a better person. So all the stuff that was going on then definitely had an effect, unquestionably. I mean, Chris Wood and I were in Israel doing a tour with this great drummer Bob Moses and Israeli sax player named Shlomi Goldenberg during the start of the first war in Iraq, and it was heavy, And we were over there while the kids are learning how to, deal with, chemical warfare and things like that. So it's kind of deep, and we, that time we actually connected very heavily with a lot of the Arab people there, and so, I mean, it's so complex what's going on over there, so, I mean, obviously that stuff all has an effect, but, ultimately, like, I guess for me, I think about music on on another level. The music is a way to get through hard times, and our music is as much for anybody, whatever their beliefs are. I want to pull people out of all of that and just make us all equal. Where we're just happy, vibrating, being one, as corny as that sounds. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I remember hearing you back in 2006 when you spoke at a panel in Bonner. You were talking about how making Shackman and the unconventional use of, kind of sustainable energy there. How does sustainable energy and environmental policy, how does this kind of intertwine with your music and your vision of music?
Well, I mean, for us, music is our life is music. So it's always been how we live, and how we live is is reflected in how we tour. And we've always tried as much as possible to, I mean, from the beginning, to be waste is, before it was, before it was hip and in every festival around, it was to waste as little as possible. I mean, we used to tour in a camper, cook for ourselves, no takeout, disposable crap. It was always like, doing everything, staying in state parks, I mean, I guess having a camper or a tour bus is it's not very gas efficient, and it's, it's not the best thing. But that's what we're doing. That's what we do. We try to travel and bring the music to people. It's one of the, I guess, the costs of doing it. So we try to keep those costs as low as possible, and always have. And we're still doing it. I mean, there's periods of time where there's just a reality of what you're capable of. In a lot of ways, you got to be rich to do it right. Or it has to be really grassroots. And, for a little while there, we were stuck in the middle when we first started getting a tour bus and stuff. We couldn't afford to do what we, but we still, little things, we've always recycled on the bus, whatever it is, just keep all our recyclable stuff until we find a place and then dump it where they recycle it, if they really do, But, so, I mean, it's in every aspect of our lives. We at home, that's how we live at home, too. We all, doing as little as possible, always thinking about how we can, use less energy, grow our own food, mostly. Billy Martin's he's a step ahead of us with his vegetable oil truck, we're all like gearing towards that. And, the funny thing is, I mean, it's pretty obvious now. I mean, everybody in the mainstream is making it clear that, it's time. I mean, the unfortunate thing is, like, who knows? Maybe by the time we're old, which is pretty soon, we may not be able to travel. We may not be able to fly to Japan and play a gig. I mean, there was this article in the New York Times talking about how our grandchildren will not be flying anywhere. You know, so it's kind of wild to think that they're going to be looking back. Wow, what was it like to, fly to wherever? But it's very possible, And I know a lot of people have faith that technology is going to, they're going to figure it out. But man, I think there's a point where we can't figure it out. I mean, the oil is so powerful. It's such a powerful energy source that it's really hard to find anything like it. And I mean, the population has grown because of it. So many things have happened, as a result of just that one product, petroleum. It's unbelievable. I mean, what it's spawned, and it's all falling apart. But we're ready. We'll keep making music. That's what music is for. That music is for that. Music is for getting us through. I mean, that's always been my view. Is music is, it's ultimately healing and about bringing light. And I mean, even the most dark rock, goth, death metal is about bringing a feeling, bringing people into an energy, into a place where, so it's like whatever you relate to, whatever it takes to get you there, it doesn't matter. It's about getting to a place where you're pumped, and you're feeling inspired. And I think music has always been about that. I think before there was commerce, before there was, definitely before people were, making music in any way, shape, or form for money or fame, music was a cultural thing that was to help us get through our day. Whether it was washing clothes in the river, turning that into a song, or whatever rituals that turning everything in life into a ritual and using music to help us get through. I mean, in this country, the slaves used it, for work. You hear those old great recordings of people, the chain gangs, using music as a way to work all day. And you see it in primitive cultures, or I don't know, primitive is not the right word, more, I guess, ancient cultures, they, you see it, man. The music is an important part of getting through everything, whether it's to dance or it's just, a ceremony of some sort, a rite of passage of any kind. Music is just key. And so that's just the way, I think it's important to keep true, to keep that in mind when you're thinking about making music, whatever it is, to stay in touch with that. And that's where the power comes, What would you